Hey there, in this lesson we're going to discuss how to adjust a photo using levels in Photoshop. What levels do is we can play around with the blacks, whites, and midtones of an image to make them pop. This is an example. This is our original photo, and when I add on levels, we can just change the colors and the vibrance of the photo. So let's jump right into it. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Open, and I'm going to go to my folder of how to fix an image using levels and open up the one that's called Levels 01. And you can see over here we have this photo that has a lot of diluted tones to it that I'd really like to adjust and get some of my colors to pop. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Windows and Adjustments. I'm going to have this bar that's going to pop up that gives me a lot of different adjustment options. The one that we're going to start with now is called Levels, and I'm going to click on it, and as soon as I click on it, I'm going to notice two things happen right away. First of all, in Properties, I get this bar that comes up, and then with my layers, I'm also going to have a new layer that comes up that's called Levels. Having this new layer allows us to do non-destructive editing, which essentially means that whatever editing I do to my photo is going to be placed onto a separate layer, which can be turned on, off, or adjusted at any point. It's a fantastic way to edit photos while you can always keep the integrity of the original, or, even a month down the line or further on in your project, adjust the levels that you had been working with. On this graph over here, under our properties, I'm going to see three sliders. I have a black slider, a midtone slider, and a white slider. This chart over here represents how much black, midtone, and whites are in my photo. So you can see there's basically nothing happening here with the blacks, and that's because this photo doesn't have any true blacks to it, or it doesn't have a lot at least. And there's also basically nothing happening with the whites because we don't have the true whites. I know that the sneaker has whites, but it's really like a muted color over here. So when I adjust my blacks and I adjust my whites, right, I can see that in my photo, it's gonna make the darks darker and the lights lighter. Essentially what this does is it adds a really vibrant pop to my color. I can also play around with my midtones and try to find the color result that I'm happy with at the end. So there is no exact science to it. It's more what effect are you looking for on this photo, and that will determine how much you want to move your slider. I can be looking for a more retro effect like this, or I can look to dilute it a little more and intentionally give it a more washed out effect. It's really up to you and what effect you're looking for on your image. And that is all for this lesson. I will see you in the next one.